Welcome back, my interstellar besties. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these creepy TikToks. We're going to jump right into these reactions. Don't forget to share this with your friends and leave me an alien emoji if you want to win an Amazon gift card. All right, let's go.
You should never make wishes, and I'm about to tell you why. How many people seen the new movie Wish Disney just put out? The main character name is Asha or Aisha, which is really short for the word Ashe. In the movie, Ashe made a wish, and when she made a wish, a star came down from the heavens. I try to tell people before, we are just stars. But you are never supposed to make a wish, because once you make a wish, you is telling the universe you don't have something. Once you feel like you don't have something, you are saying you are incomplete. So therefore, a jinn or a genie can give you something in the material world. But once they give you something, you got to give them your soul back in return. That's why they say never celebrate birthdays, because you have to make a wish. And the genie or the jinn will always come back and collect. You ever wonder why they made the genie blue? It's because you made a wish and you used your throat or your throat chakra to make this genie manifest. Just like when we first wake up, the first number we see is 1111. But they lied to us and told us to make a wish. But once you make that wish, that genie actually takes your energy and it makes sure you never grow spiritually. Because you pick the material world over the spiritual world. Be careful of your wish when you see a shooting star. A lot of the prayers and the help you ask for when you look up at the stars does not get into the stars. The reason why it's not getting to the star because the moon is intercepting your dreams. In the movie Wish, he represents the moon, stealing your desires. Your dreams and desires have to be strong so it can pass through the moon. So your energy can go back out to the universe. This movie was trying to tell us that our dreams and desires is being stolen from an outside force. And the star represents our spirit guides trying to come back and tell us what's happening. Check my bio for the ebook.
With all the wishes that I've had come true, I don't think I'm going to be stopping any of my wishing anytime soon. I don't know if it's a bad thing or if it's a good thing, but yeah, I don't know. What about you guys? Are you guys going to keep wishing or what you going to do?
This is a place you can never get close to and is one of the most dangerous areas in the world. Gold Base is approximately 85 miles from Los Angeles. This heavily guarded estate, covering 520 acres, serves as the headquarters of the Church of Scientology. Its founder, L. Ron Hubbard, once resided here. Gold Base is surrounded by tall fences topped with razor wire. The road leading into it is divided in two, closely monitored by cameras along the way. It is also equipped with snipers and armed guards. The base is home to over 1,000 staff members, living in harsh conditions, with a daily wage of only $50. Scientology maintains strict standards for those living and working at Gold Base, and operates a quasi-military training school. Each year, over 100 members attempt to escape from here, but most are captured and confined to a prison known as The Hole. Curiously, the base has a multi-million-dollar film studio used for producing Scientology training and promotional videos. Tom Cruise has visited the base. Can you guess if he has filmed movies here?
Elon Musk revealed the first human has received a Neuralink brain implant. The microchip allows people to use technology just by thinking. Initial users will be those who have lost the use of their limbs, with Musk saying, "Imagine if Stephen Hawking could communicate faster than a speed typist or auctioneer." The first human who received the implant is reportedly recovering well, with initial results showing promising neuron spike detections.
I heard once that one of the reasons that aliens really love humans is because we don't have a hive mind, and that apparently aliens have like some kind of hive mind where when one thinks of something, they all kind of think of it or something, and this kind of reminds me of it. Like we're going in the direction of that. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below.
As we come into 2024, who remembers this guy talking about the Brazilian floods? Where he missed this. I also made a video on it. There is a dark spirit that's pretending to be a door. Look. Whew. And he didn't even see it. It was hiding like it was a door. Look at that. Look at that. Once again, when you look closer, it looks like it's a door. It's connected to it. So it's imitating as if it's actually a door. But if you look to the left, it's also a face. So it's trying to copy the door like a chameleon. Like camouflage, people. But it's actually a dark spirit right in front of our face. This is the type of stuff that make you itch. So it was just in the public, blending in. Can you imagine how many other places? And then as the camera begins to move, it moves. My Lord, did you not see it? Let's play it again. Slow motion, look. it dropped. That's a dark spirit, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we come against. That is a spirit, ladies and gentlemen. For all the atheists and the non-believing people that can't seem to understand things that they can't see with their physical eyeballs. Well, there you have it. That is a spirit, a dark spirit, what we fight against. Ephesians 6:12 says, it is not flesh and blood that we fight against, but spirits of the unseen world. Demonic powers and principalities we fight against. And to all my brothers and sisters in Christ, continue to be a spiritual praying warrior. You are appreciated more than you actually understand. And even when you are hated, remember, they hated the Lord first. But even he gave his life for those who are ungrateful. Continue to walk that narrow path. I love you guys. God bless. Shalom.
Something strange is going on with Oprah Winfrey's South African school for girls.
Go look and see what happened to them girls.
So Oprah opened the school all the way back in 2007. And since the school's opening, it has been marred with many different controversies. You see, shortly after the school opened, a matron of the school was charged with touching several of the girls in a very inappropriate manner. When the crime eventually came to light, Oprah herself went to fire the school's head mistress. Then, in another incident that happened in 2011, law enforcement investigated the body of a newborn that was found in one of the students' bags. Apparently, one of the girls at the school gave birth, but there were no charges filed against her after this incident. There were also other scandals the school was involved in, like in 2009 when 7 students were suspended for harassing their classmates. And now there's a new scandal that the school is known for, as many people online have started spreading rumors that girls are disappearing from the school. According to these rumors, several students from the school have gone missing. But as of right now, nobody is sure why these rumors have started, as there is currently no news reporting that there have been missing girls at Oprah's school. Regardless, these rumors have managed to go viral all over TikTok and Twitter, and they continue to be spread to this day.
Cat owners try this shit. Like, if you take a comb and go, yeah, you'll see cats immediately. They wanna. Really? They wanna like throw up. They get nauseous because of it. Damn. And there's certain frequencies. Like there's a sound. I think it's an ancient Egyptian sound. They play for cats as well. Yeah. The moment you play it for the cat, these cats start standing on their hind legs, and then it says what happens is the cats are reminded because of the sound that they were praised in Egyptian time.
Oh yeah, it's like a troll.
Yeah,
like, remember you told me that?
But who knows? Because if you think about it, like there's a lot of spiritual things with cats already. And you know that theory how like if cats like you, that means like
you're actually blessed.
Yeah, it means they take away your your negative energy. That's what they're trying to do, and that's why witches always have cats with them. Yeah. So cats already have some like spiritual significance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why it's interesting that ancient Egyptians, the most almost spiritually based civilization that we study, is kind of based around. They have a fucking giant cat.
You really think God was tripping about a cigarette? You really think he was sweating a regular old building tower? The Tower of Babel was way more like this than like this. Think about how these are called towers. Now think of a 10G, 20G, 1000G, million G, mile-and-a-half high tower in the sky, possibly connected to the entire pyramid grid on planet Earth, able to split dimensions possibly, and even enter God's dimension. That's right, my theory on this was that this tower could disable the entire firmament, just completely obliterate the dome. Which, if you see what Nimrod's plan was, that's exactly what it was. It was to march right into God's presence and challenge him to his face for flooding the world, and taking out his Nephilim ancestor bloodline. If you do some etymology and original language word study, you realize when it says that they wanted to make a name for themselves, that particular phrase in Genesis regarding the Tower of Babel actually can mean the word renown, which means nothing to you unless you know earlier in Genesis, when it talks about the product of the fallen angels and women, they were known as the men of renown. They were giants, the men who did great feats on the earth, the men of renown. So they were saying that we want to become renowned too. And if you study Nimrod's story, you realize that he became a giant. The word is Gaborim. The original text says Nimrod became a Gaborim. There's a whole fascinating study there about Nimrod learned to manipulate genetics, and he actually did whatever ritual or process that involved becoming a giant or one of these Nephilim beings. What if this million G-like dimensional splitting tower was the key to all the pyramids and the ley lines and the entire worldwide energy harvesting grid? That's just a side theory. The main theory is that this tower was absolutely to disable the dome firmament. This is all for entertainment, by the way, because, well, you know, maybe this is why some people think NASA keeps sending rocket-like missile things to try to blow up the dome. Same reason as Nimrod. Also, 2 quick side notes. You'll find an interesting word study in the word Shem and pyramid, all relating to tower in the Tower of Babel. Also in reference to the pyramids, the way they all line to Orion, and were possibly all connected in this worldwide grid, maybe connecting to the tower. But anyway, you'll find how the pyramids line to Orion, and an interesting thread about how Orion could be the actual physical location of heaven. There's one there. And maybe that's why all the pyramids were aligned that way, having to do with disabling the firmament and breaking into heaven. Total ascension to the next dimension, which seems to be kind of what all the religions were about. Which the book of Jasher kind of goes into that, and says that there were 3 distinct camps of people at the tower who God gave all their own judgments to. One, like Nimrod's camp, who wanted to march right into heaven and just fight him face to face. One who wanted to shoot arrows into heaven from earth once the dome was disabled, and one who just wanted free access to worship their gods face to face once the firmament was gone. The 3 distinct punishments were the arrow shooters were instantly taken out. The ones who wanted to worship their gods were changed into monkey and elephant-like beings, according to the book of Jasher, which has a really interesting connection to the origin of Hindu gods, and even how the Hindu gods, who are elephants and monkeys, worship other gods, just like this Tower of Babel scenario. And the final camp, Nimrod's camp, who I guess were somewhat respectable for at least wanting to challenge him face to face rather than shooting arrows, it says that God spread them all over the world. If you really think about it, it seems like the world, which was one landmass, and it says one language at the time, that at this exact event when God sent the warrior wind spirits down to just destroy it all, that this is when all the land masses were separated, and people were spread all over the world, and their languages were confused, and the origin of languages, and possibly even why we look different. So the very much spiritual, technological Stargate portal of Babel is a much more better understanding in my opinion. One thing the Tower of Babel definitely was not was this tower right here. Let's hit one thought experiment in conclusion. The phrase that God is holding us back from knowledge, holding us back from achieving things like he did at the Tower of Babel and the Garden of Eden. Well, let's look at it. Maybe both times there was a good reason, and it was both tied to other entities and giants trying to completely take over this realm, and the resets were the only way we could survive. What if we're on the verge of another incursion right now? By the way, the same people I hear talk about this say that it's the tree of knowledge, and God's holding us back from knowledge. Again, it's not the tree of knowledge. It's the tree of knowledge of good and evil. We weren't meant to know that kind of good and evil in that state that we were in. The same way we weren't meant to partake in the tree of life in the state we were in either. All according to the actual context of these ancient texts. So the same omission and twisting, ironically, was the same strategy the serpent used in the tree to deceive us in the first place. And it still works now on a lot of people. Think about it. According to the texts, when we were created, literally our only commands were to eat fruit and enjoy the pleasure of multiplying. In paradise. Sounds pretty good to me. Speaking of Eden, the garden was just a garden inside of Eden. Eden was whatever was outside of the garden as well. Was Eden walled? Was it on top of a mountain? Was it in what we consider the North Pole now? Anyway, it seems like God did want us to partake in the tree of life, and he did want the people as one, just under the right conditions. Maybe faith is the ultimate experiment after all. Keep thinking, but don't let those brains overheat.
Probably the scariest tombstone out there.
This grave set victim of the beast 666 and had a bone on it.
I really hope that this is just some sort of like sick joke or something. Okay, I'm gonna do some research into Lily E. Gray and get back to y'all. Stay tuned.
Here are some of the Simpsons predictions for 2024. So we all know that in the past, the Simpsons have dropped predictions that have proved to be very accurate. But here's what they have to say about the year 2024. So first off is Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. In this episode from 2015, you can see Homer flying past a sign that says Trump 2024. And this was actually before Trump was ever president. Next up is virtual reality food. In this episode, Homer and Marge are eating virtual fudge. And this is through a straw on the back of their virtual reality headsets. Now you may think that there's no way that this is possible, but there's actually a company that's working on this right now. The company's called Aero Banquets RMX, and they're all about eating in the digital world. Next up is World War III. In this episode from 1987, Homer keeps pranking his family with World War III scares. He would keep waking them up, asking them to go into the shelter as if the world was gonna end.
Korea, what happened with you? Our leader Kim Jong-un cried while telling women to have more kids. What? He Cries? Yeah, he's a human. But why does he want, like, North Korean women to have kids that bad? Because our birth rate is declining really bad. Aren't people having less kids because they're barely able to eat over there? Well, there will be benefits for families who have, like, 3 or more kids now. But 3 or more kids? That's a lot in North Korea. Yeah, maybe if he fed his people, people would be more encouraged, I guess. I'm still really surprised that he's able to cry.
Officially have government documentation that Fruit of the Loom is lying about never being associated with the cornucopia. That we should first start off with this Frank West album, Fruit of the Loom, which was made in the late 1970s and was a clear spin-off of Fruit of the Loom. I don't know how to credit a Redditor, but this one deserves an award because he went so far down the rabbit hole, he ended up reaching out to the son of the artist who created the art for the album cover. The son responded, making it very clear that Fruit of the Loom was in fact inspired by Fruit of the Loom and the cornucopia was part of its logo. Redditor even brought receipts and took a screenshot of his email conversation. The part I'm most excited about, this is an official government document for the Fruit of the Loom trademark, and if you look at the bottom, it said baskets of fruit, containers of fruit, cornucopia, horn of plenty. And I'm not arguing that there's no room for discussion about when and how this logo was used, but it's clearly dishonest for Fruit of the Loom to make us believe we're crazy for assuming that the cornucopia was ever associated with their logo. It still makes absolutely no sense to me how each one of us have a vivid memory of our childhood asking our mom what's in the Fruit of the Loom logo, and that's how we learned what a cornucopia was. In an attempt to back Fruit of the Loom into a trademark corner, I'm now selling these sweatshirts, which means I'm about to be sued for every penny I'm worth, but they'll have to admit the cornucopia is a part of their logo, or I will become a trillionaire. Either way, it's a win-win for me. If you would like to be a part of the chaos, you can buy one by clicking the shopping link on my page, or it's linked in the video right before this.
Now that we know that they're actually lying to us and there's like actual proof, I want to know, what other ones are they lying to us about? Like, why can't they just be truthful? Why are they trying to do this like weird experiment on us? I don't like it.
The sun explodes. How would we survive? The chain reaction would create a massive tsunami. Many creatures would be swept out to sea by the storm and be subjected to hellish heat. But the other side of the planet would be different. It's subjected to a deadly cold, like a return to the Ice Age. Suppose if you had a choice, would you choose the heat or the cold? After the ordeal, the skies would go dark, and the Earth might fall out of its orbit, weaving endlessly through the universe. Reminds me of the movie Wanderlust. But if we can prepare for the sun before it explodes, that would greatly improve our chances of survival. For example, by hiding 10 meters underground, where the temperature is still the usual 17 degrees. As long as we have enough time to build a shelter, our civilization can continue. But the Earth's surface will reach minus 73 degrees in a year, and the oceans will start to freeze from the top down. In 8,000 years, the atmosphere will freeze and collapse. Everything on the surface of the Earth will be exposed to cosmic radiation. But that's nothing to worry about. The sun may explode, but it's a long way off.
What if life had a cheat code? Because I have a theory. This video is a few minutes long, and if that's not for you, that's okay. But if you do decide to watch it, please don't skip to the end because I promise you need the information in the first part of the video to make sense of the theory. When you finish the video, please let me know your thoughts because I'm genuinely curious if you think I might be onto something. My theory is that the cheat code to life is fractals of thought, and to explain this, I'm going to offer some background. The other night, I was looking for something to watch, and I stumbled across a PBS documentary called Fractals: Hunting the Hidden Dimension. I'd never even heard of a fractal before, but the documentary explained that it's a geometric shape containing the same detailed, repeating structure as you look at it closer. Behind me is an example of a fractal. It's an infinite shape that goes on forever. Fractals are all around us in nature. They make up mountain ranges, coastlines, cloud formation. They're things that seem chaotic with no order, but when looked at closer offer a pattern. Fractal trees are an example of this self-similarity. Each branch is repeated using the same original shape of the trunk, although each branch is rotated and smaller. Do you see how this mirrors this, and mirrors this? This Romanesco broccoli is another example because it follows a Fibonacci fractal pattern. It is mathematically perfect. This is a photo of the Grand Canyon from the International Space Station. And this is a photo of the Cat's Eye Nebula by NASA's Hubble telescope. In terms of the human body, all of our complete systems also follow a fractal pattern. This is the human heart, but our eyes, veins, nerves, and nervous system are also mathematically perfect. The concept of fractals was introduced less than 40 years ago by a mathematician named Benoit Mandelbrot, but fractal patterns have existed as long as nature has. Which brings me back to my original image, the human brain. These are neurons and synapses, the connections or the messengers that run between them. And all of these things in nature seem to indicate that we live in a holographic universe. What we find in one place, we find everywhere else, from the cosmos to the neurons in our brain. And if this is true, it means all information is encoded with this pattern. And because another law of the universe states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, all energy must go somewhere and follow this pattern. If a thought isn't energy, then what is it? And where does it go? I believe the cheat code to the universe is thinking the thoughts we wish to experience in reality. If thoughts, like everything else in the universe, follow a fractal pattern, repetition of a thought can essentially create a new branch of existence where nothing else previously existed. We take everything that we already are, a living, breathing pattern of what we've already learned, and go in the direction of our desired outcome. This idea also reinforces the concept of free will, suggesting that we create our own destiny. It's literally manifestation at a molecular level. Follow for more like this.
What's happening? Who are you trying to find?
A ghostie.
A ghost?
Yeah, a ghostie.
But weren't you just trying to find Reagan?
Yeah.
Where do you think she is?
Reagan is the ghostie.
Reagan is the ghost?
Yeah, Reagan is the ghostie.
Well, what's a ghost's face look like? What are we doing? What does that mean?
I hear that ghost.
You hear that ghost?
Yeah. And they got that ghost.
Okay. I'll be right there, Reagan.
Who are you saying goodnight to?
Him.
Who?
Him, good night.
Jagger, there's no one up there.
He's up there.
Show me.
He's up there. Up there.
Jagger, there's no one up there. He's been talking to that vent and then he was blowing it kisses. And I'm creeped out now. Like, seriously, I'm not joking. I'm so creeped out right now.
I would not be staying in any of those places. Have you ever lived in a haunted house before?
Walmart is ripping you off. And you already know this, but in this video, this person goes in to get this chicken meat. Well, it turns out that that chicken meat is overcharged by a couple of pounds a piece, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot of money that they're ripping off from you. Watch.
This is supposed to be a lot heavier
because it's got more weight on it than this one. This one's 1802. I put this on the scale. It's at 4.3 pounds or something. It has on here it's 6.17.
Trying to get all your money.
This is the second time this happened to me, but fortunately I caught it this time before going home. Which one's heavier for you? This one, right?
So he's bringing this up to the manager in hopes that going forward they can actually start weighing the product and charging you for exactly what that product is worth instead of stealing your money. Because Walmart, Target, the United States government, they're all doing this anyway. And now we have to check our own stuff so that we don't get ripped off. But what do you guys think about this situation? And also share this with your friends because they might need to weigh their food too.
All right, so let me tell you guys a little story. I was going to get a cheesecake once, and it was like usually like $4, $5 for a slice of cheesecake. And I thought that it said $2, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to get a cheesecake for half price. And so I pick it up, and I'm like looking at it, and it was $22. So please be very careful out there because you don't know what they're trying to sell you. You got to really look at these prices. I almost bought a piece of cheesecake for $22, and it was not Cheesecake Factory.
Florida Joker, whose real name is Lawrence Sullivan, is demanding that Rockstar Games pays him $2 million for imitating him in their latest trailer for GTA 6.
That's me. GTA, we gotta talk, GTA. We gotta talk. Or not, you gotta give me like a meal or two.
The GTA 6 trailer features many nods to viral videos, notable events, and memes, including a man with a heavily tattooed face who Sullivan is referring to. Commenters found Sullivan's claims laughable, with many pointing out the fact that Sullivan himself is imitating DC's The Joker.
What do you guys think? Is Rockstar or GTA at fault here? Did they do something that is like illegal? I'm not really sure on all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not really sure if your face is private property. Is your face private property?
This is from Homestead, Florida, just the other day. Keep watching, because it gets weird.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard cannot seem to get away from the rumors that her husband Ryan is actually related to her. This all seemed to start when people were saying that Ryan Anderson, Gypsy Rose Blanchard's husband, looks just like her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. And now people like this influencer are claiming that they may actually be brother and sister. Gypsy's husband Ryan seems to have replied to these rumors. He took to his Instagram account to post a picture with his lovely mother, who is not Dee Dee Blanchard.
There's some fucked up shit. Check this out. Alexa, when will World War III start?
World War III will commence on March 1st, 2024, when the Chinese invade the United States from within by activating countless sleeper cells. This will be followed by full military invasion on both coasts by Russia and China. The attack will be devastating and incorporate weapons never before seen by mankind. Humanity as we know it will be forever changed and never return to its former glory as the Republic of China will rule going forth.
Let me ask you a question, guys. How many times has Alexa been right? Can we count how many times Alexa's been right? I don't know. I don't have Alexa, so I can't ask her myself. But has she been right before? Because I told you things are going to increase this year. It's 2024 and Solar Cycle 2025 is right around the corner and it's going to increase. This video is solely for entertainment purposes only. I am only bringing awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. But we already know Alexa works for the government, so they program her to what to say. So you already know she's in the knowing. She's deep in it, y'all. So I'm only sharing information just in case you guys didn't know, y'all. So let me know what you guys think about this video. What's going on, man? There's a lot of tension in the air. A huge shift. A lot of energies lately, y'all. And I can feel something in my stomach. Literally, I can feel something in my stomach. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, share, and comment for more like this. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
So the 2017-2024 solar eclipse, a lot of people should know this by now. If you don't, then I'm guessing this is your date of you finding out about this. So the coincision of this eclipse pass is here in southern Illinois, also known as Carbondale, also known as Little Egypt. And this X right here is actually not the 2017-2024 total solar eclipse pass, but it's actually two fault line cracks that is going across America. 1,700 miles one way, 1,600 miles the other way, and the coincision is, as you can see, is the same, precisely the same location. X marks the spot, and that area just happens to be the New Madrid seismic zone. I showed this map already, and I'll just show it again for context. The New Madrid seismic zone is known for 3 great eclipses, and it's also, 3 great earthquakes, and it's also known as one of the biggest dangers to America. This is a map from USGS, and as you can see, talking about the highest hazards and lowest hazards. This is the bar, this is the meter. All right, and as you can see right here, where the X marks the spot, simultaneously with the eclipse and the earthquakes, the activity is very high, and threat level and danger level is very high. So this is an exodus sign. An exodus sign. This is a sign of an exodus, a physical, spiritual, mental awakening, and exodus out of a system, and it's also a prophetic sign for a people. Book reference. The intersection of these two fault lines create an X at the New Madrid seismic zone, located in Missouri, just an hour-and-a-half drive or 30-minute flight from Carbondale, known as Little Egypt. What's particularly unsettling is the striking resemblance between the map of the seismic cracks and the paths of totality observed in the solar eclipse. The correlation in the paths and locations might evoke a sense of awe or terror, depending on one's perspective, and invites contemplation on the possible means or connection these natural phenomena might hold. And you can see the striking resemblance in Forbes magazine doomsday map or doomsday crack, because this would be the precise location of X marks the spot. The unsettling parallels between the seismic crack and the path of totality are not lost on those who study them, yet the lack of public warning from scientists or authorities are baffling. It calls to mind scenes from disasters, movies like 2012, where government conceal intimate catastrophic to avert panic. Could we be living in such scenario? Have those in power suspected a looming threat and chosen silence over alarm? These questions linger, leaving us to ponder the cryptic message that nature seems to be signaling, and wonder if humanity is truly ready to face whatever may be coming. Now we see where Forbes get their prediction from. But trust me, it's way much more deeper than you think. This is an exodus sign, a sign for a chosen people. For the people, for humanity, for the world.
Jacob Rothschild, the head of the Rothschild family, has fortunately passed away at the age of 87. Which is pretty ironic considering the fact that his entire family just so happened to attend this specific wedding. It's just pretty ironic when these individuals just so happen to be at that wedding as well. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Fink, Morgan Stanley. Can't forget Blackstone Chairman Steven Schwarzman and Disney CEO Bob Iger too. Oh, and the Adobe CEO too, that's wonderful. Now I'm not going to lay claim to any sacrifices happening, but it's pretty coincidental, don't you think? Especially when you consider the fact that this man's best friend might or might not be Mr. George Soros himself. And do you know where the name Rothschild comes from? Let's just say it involves a specific symbol that a lot of people don't find very appealing. And how coincidental for the Rothschild family to miss the Holocaust, right? Pretty ironic when you consider the fact that the Rothschild family just so happened to finance a lot of influential characters, especially during World War II. And might or might not have been the reason that Napoleon was not successful in his actions. You know, this family's history goes back quite literally centuries. I mean, Jacob Rothschild's father was personally knighted by the Queen, for specifically his financial triumph of bringing wealth to the Queen. And supposedly now his daughter, Hannah Rothschild, will now succeed him as the chair of the Rothschild Foundation. So I guess keep your eyes on Miss Hannah. And I could dig into controversy on this lady for at least 10 minutes, but I don't want to keep you here for that long. But if anybody would like me to make a video of the Rothschild family and the controversy behind their name, then I gladly will. But I will have to do it very nonchalantly because this is now censor talk for those who are unaware. Nonetheless, I could definitely confirm that this man is definitely going somewhere very warm. And I'm sure every single other person that actually knows the truth behind the Veil of Lies, which they created to deceive you, will definitely not do any complaining in this moment of time. But for this man to pass away the day after that wedding is just a little bit sketchy, I'd say. But once again, TikTok's AI, I'm not laying claim to anything officially being true. And you can't violate my video anymore, you motherfuckers.
Hey, thanks so much for watching until the very end. I hope that you enjoyed these videos, and if you did, don't forget to share them with your friends, because once we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to have another gift card giveaway. So make sure you're in it. All right, I will see you in the next one.